Spoon theory, as far as I know, operates on the idea that while healthy people are always casually using energy, pouring it into their life, others have to painstakingly measure it out in coffee spoons, like a tired, aching J. Alfred Prufrock. A spoon for a shower, 3 for getting the bus, it goes on. In the past, I have tried so hard to keep up with my friends, to dole out spoons as fast as they are pouring from their bucket that I did serious damage to myself and eventually had nothing left. Since I got back from France, I've been booming and crashing. I felt chaotic and out of control, and I felt as though my body was yanking my mind one way and my mind was yanking my body the other. So I decided to stop. To abruptly stop everything and to spend all of my spoons on me. To press the reset button and create a firm ground, a solid routine of necessary things that I can then add things to when I feel up to it. This is how I reset. The areas where I needed to reset were physical space, supplements and diet, body and skincare, movement, stretching and exercise, admin, and of course my brain. I started with my physical space. I hadn't fully moved into my room yet, and I always feel like it's impossible to feel like you have your life together when your things are in boxes. I haven't finished decorating or anything, and I still don't have curtains, but having my clothes in a wardrobe is really nice. This space feels very open and comfortable and not too cluttered, which I love. The vibe is sort of bohemian squatting in a Greek Orthodox chapel, and I'm okay with that. For the last while I haven't had the energy to be really on top of my supplements. I have to take about 16 pills a day, and they have to be different depending on what week it is and how long I've been on each thing. It's all about adding and subtracting various elements, and it's very complicated, and when I feel overwhelmed I'm just not up to it. So I took the time to write out on my calendar when I needed to start and stop and up each dose and take each dose down. I also took the time to write out a list of everything I needed to replace in the near future. The next is the most superficial thing on this list, but it's always nice to take care of your outer body, and boy oh boy have I been neglecting that. So I trimmed my hair, I dyed my eyebrows. I also got back into my absurdly basic skincare routine, which consists solely of these 2 products. My diet is the one thing I'm always pretty good at, but I did stock up on the things I needed, like buying almond milk in bulk. I'm also setting myself the rule to eat with no distractions, so not in front of a TV or whatever, and to try and notice and appreciate how my food tastes and how it makes me feel. I even take a moment before each meal to be grateful for it and sort of say a secular grace, even though that sounds silly. I'm pretty bad at mindfulness, so this is about as mindful as I'm going to get. I've never really felt like I was strong enough to get to the stage where I incorporated exercise into my recovery strategy, and recently I've realised that's just because every time I get a little bit of strength, I put it towards something else. So this week I really tried to use and invest my strength to do a small yoga practice every day, and I've been loving it. I even took myself for little tiny walks to get some fresh air, to move my legs a bit. Just little things that otherwise I didn't have the energy to do. About the things that I forgot to do for you. On Wednesday I had an admin day. I set aside some hours, some energy, and a lot of patience to fill out all the forms, write out all the emails, make all the calls I had to make. This mostly consisted of me waiting on hold for hours, but I got some reading done, so it was okay.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Decluttering and resetting my brain was the most significant thing. Turning my phone off and cutting off contact for a couple of days calmed me down so much, and while I did go online once or twice this week, I didn't really enjoy it. I fell back in love with reading, and spent hours curled up in a chair reading and listening to the sound of the rain. Earlier this month, I used a lot of energy doing other things. So when I was home, I didn't have energy left over to read or write, and my brain was so foggy I couldn't even get to the end of a sentence. But by the 3rd day of this week, I woke up and found myself reading by accident before I even got dressed. I've also had the strength to write more. I challenged myself to do 5 pages of creative writing a day. Reading and writing is like training my brain to be stronger, more clear, like bodybuilding for brain fog and mental fatigue. And it makes my head feel so good, like a green smoothie for your thoughts. A chapter a day keeps the brain fog away is my new motto.
These days I sit in cornerstones and count the times in quarter tones till 10, my friend. Please don't confront me with my failures. I've not